Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well. We are at the farm early this morning to do a quick harvest of just a bunch of stuff. I have two bouquets to make today. One is an order that I need to deliver this afternoon, and the other is for a friend who's hosting a party this evening that we're going to, so I want to bring her some flowers. So we're just going to do a quick harvest of what's here. There's also some awesome stuff at home that we're going to harvest, and I don't have a plan yet for these. We're just going to harvest what's available, and then we will make it up as we go along. So yeah, let's get started. It's so fun to have the zinnias starting. Zinnias, when you harvest them, if you harvest them too early, they will flop in the vase. So we do what's called the shake test. You take a flower and you wiggle it like that, and if it pretty much stays upright, then it's okay to harvest it. If it flops around, then I'll show you an example of one that is not ready. Then if you harvest it, it's too early. Also with zinnias, you're gonna want to cut, well, with all cut flowers, you're gonna want to cut really deep into the plant. Even though I'm sacrificing all these potential blooms, right? That will make the plant produce way more stems from the base. It'll give you stronger, longer stems, and a lot more branching. Okay, so let me see. That one's still a little wobbly. I'm gonna wait on that. That one's nice and firm, but it's not open. That one's good. We had a major windstorm last night, and we haven't found it yet, a major branch off of a huge tree come down. It was multiple cracks, and then we could hear it coming through the canopy, but it never hit the ground. So we think it's a snag somewhere. We have not been able to find it in our property. We think it might be on the this is a little too short, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I just won't be putting it in a vase. I'm cutting it so that the plant will produce longer stems. Anyway, so we're going to try to do a more thorough search, but we think it might be in the creek bed. But we want to make sure if it's a snag that we can keep an eye on it, especially if it's not on our property. Our neighbors are retired and they're not always home, and we want to make sure that it's not something that could fall and injure someone. Okay, the marigolds are definitely ready. I'm going to have to harvest hard on these guys from now to the end of the season. And this is where you can really feel like, oh man, look at all those stems that I'm sacrificing for this one flower. But trust me, these plants want to produce. The more you cut, the more they produce. And then I've got a little busted stem there. I'm just gonna cut that off. Marigolds have a scent that some people really dislike, but the smell is all in the leaves. So if you don't like that smell, just remove the leaves and your problem is solved. This guy back here looks great. Again, cutting super deep. And we're going to sacrifice some of these stems. But it will come back fast and give me a lot better branching with much longer stems, because that branching will happen at the bottom of the plant instead of up at the top. These are African marigolds. So these are not the French marigolds that you put in your garden. These guys get really big and they continue to produce stems all the way up to a very hard frost. Sometimes I can go through 2 frosts with these before they stop producing flowers. This is the cocoa orange variety. So this is a fun bucket, and this isn't even the stuff we're going to get at home. So we've got marigolds, zinnias, snapdragons, sweet peas, a dahlia. Look at this. Isn't she amazing? This is actually, well, I'm not going to give this to a friend because it's missing a petal. It's not perfect, but I will put that in a bud vase for myself. This is from the Floret dahlia seeds. I think it was, gosh, I can't remember the name of the variety. Anyway, we've got some status in here. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Some agastaki, and we have really a lot to choose from here. Oh, some Amimagus, Daucus. But we've got more stuff at home, so let's go there and get that stuff harvested, and then we'll see how much playing we can do. Ooh, I gotta tell you though, the weeds are terrible. I think we'll be coming out tomorrow and doing mostly weeding. Inside the beds, the machine I ordered, the very narrow mower that's going to help me get rid of all the stuff that's growing in places where I can't get the regular mower. That should be here hopefully this coming week. But I'm more concerned with getting the stuff out of the growing beds because that stuff just takes over. And you know, weeds don't care what the soil is like. So I want to get those guys out of the growing beds so they don't continue to compete with my flowers. Okay, back at home. And what we've got here is Love in a Mist. This is Nigella. I think it's African Bride. So the reason it's here, just growing in the pathways, and it goes all the way down here, is that 6 years ago when the flower farm was here, this was a row. And I was obviously growing Nigella in it, and it comes up every year, and I am not unhappy about it. It is not a weed, so I don't pull it. I leave it, I let it flourish here and drop its seed, and I don't care if my pathways have lots of Nigella in them. I think they're beautiful. And so, yeah, this, and also I have a big patch of Eryngium down there. I'm pretty sure it's blue glitter. Again, this was, you know, row crops, and so for flowers, and so that's why they're here. So these are super fun because you can harvest them in many different stages. So this is the flower here before it opens. This is the flower after it opens. And then this is the seed pod. So they just are really, really cool. You have lots of options here. This is a little too short for my vases. So I'm going to take a few cuttings on this one. I'll take a few cuttings on the one down the way. I don't want to cut all of this off because I want them, like I said, to, first of all, they're pretty. So I'm happy to have them in my garden. Secondly, I want them to keep coming back. So I definitely will let a number of these seed pods completely go to seed and drop their seed. Like I said, I do not care that it's happening in my pathways. I love this flower. And you know, the funny thing is, when I was growing it, when I was intentionally growing it, they never did this well. Now that I completely ignore them and I don't plant them anywhere else, oh yeah, they're just really happy. They do great. Okay, so we've got some here. Let's just go down the way and we'll grab some more. These are super nice long stems. And again, I mean, look at that seed pod. How cool is that? I'll cut these guys just because they're into the pathway a little bit. And that way I won't kick them when I walk. And I'll grab a few more down here because they're super tall. This whole cluster will be great. Okay, I'm going to cut this off just so that it doesn't fall out of the bucket. Okay, so there's a few more things in the back garden that I want to grab, but then I think we're actually going to harvest some of the garlic. It is starting to look rough. It's falling over. It's like not all of the garlic well, maybe most. Anyway, I think we're gonna have to harvest it instead of wait because it's looking like it's done. It's a little early, but you know, you go by what nature tells you, not by your calendar. So yeah, let's go grab the few more things I want to out of the back garden, and we'll let these guys sit and hydrate. Then we'll harvest our garlic. Okay, we are going to harvest a little bit of this Linaria. So pretty. I harvested almost all of this a month or so ago for a wedding, and it's already back. This stuff, this is my first time ever growing it. It is, I grew it from seed, super easy, very pretty, just, and you know, will continue to provide flowers all season long. And then if you let it go to seed, it'll come back for you. So I would highly recommend growing some Linaria. I think I got this seed packet from either Botanical Interest or Johnny's. I can't remember which, but very, very easy to grow. And it was just a mix. So yeah, highly recommend. I mean, look how dainty they are. They're also called miniature snapdragons, and you could probably see why. Just going to take a whole clump here because there's so many of them. Okay, so these are going to go in our basket, in our bucket. They will just be a nice little accent piece. This one's broken in the bouquets, and we have tons of it. The garden is packed, and they're also covered in bees, so the pollinators really like them. Ooh, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, you probably can't, but this little bee that's buzzing near me, this is a native bee. Hello, lovely. Had her pollen baskets full too. And I want to get some of this campanula. It is on its way out. I've been harvesting on it. Gives really cool stems, and these flowers last forever. And you can take, you can remove individual flowers, all that pollen. You can remove individual flowers if they're starting to die back. So I can still use like this stem, just take these off. Actually, most of this stem is gone. But yeah, you can pull off individual stems, individual flowers from a stem and still use the whole stem. It's great. This, another funny thing about this is that, again, I tried unsuccessfully to grow this many times, and then it somehow sowed itself in this garden, and now it comes up every year in this same spot. Sometimes things are just better without human intervention. Okay, we've got a lot of die off on this one, but I might just take, oh, here's a good stem. So I don't need a lot of this since we have so many flowers already. Okay. Also an update, our redbud is doing much better. She didn't drop her leaves. I think she's going to be okay. Now the only thing I need is some greenery. So I'm just going to snap some stuff, maybe some pittosporum or something, because I have so many flowers that most of this arrangement is going to be flowers. Okay, garlic. So it's got rust, but it's also got a ton of dead leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and it's also some of them are laying down, kind of like what happens with onions. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these. This bed is going, ooh, that's nice. This bed is going to be become the sweet potato bed. So when the sweet potatoes finally, when they get here, I actually have some slips growing in the kitchen right now, but they have others on order because I can never grow enough slips really to do what I want to do. Anyway, this bed we're going to amend with, oh yeah, these are good size. We're gonna, wow, look at that. Okay, so I'm not feeling so bad about pulling the garlic. Probably, well, I was gonna say I probably should have turned off the irrigation, but the irrigation's been off because we still haven't, don't have the parts to fix what I need to fix. Anyway, this bed's gonna be for sweet potatoes. What we'll do is we will amend it with a lot of compost, and then we'll put a lot of fertilizer in, and we will plant our slips. Yeah, this is all the soft neck. It did good. We got some big. I mean, some of the heads are small, but some of them are really big. Yeah, snapped over, kind of like I said, like an onion would. I generally grow hardneck, so softneck is not something I have a whole lot of experience with. Oh yeah, these big ones, that's awesome. And they're coming up very nicely. This harvest basket's not gonna be big enough. I hear you, chickens. So I'm thinking I'm only gonna pull this soft neck because the hard neck, which is over here, which we trimmed the scapes on last week, it's actually looking pretty good. Okay, so this one came apart and the paper is not that great on it. So it'll come in the house and it will get, it'll be fresh garlic. We'll use that right away. Yeah, some of the paper on these is starting to fail. They're like joined together. What are you ladies talking about? You're so chatty. Okay, the rest of this is... All right, we've got all of our soft neck. Goodness, oh, it smells good too. I'm gonna leave that hard neck there until, I don't know, till a few more of the leaves start to die back. We just trimmed the scapes from them, so they'll put more energy into the bulbs. I'll give them another week or two, see how they look. And then we also have garlic up at the front of the garden. That doesn't look ready yet either, so we'll just wait on that. But this soft neck, we just need to lay it out on the table. But this soft neck, we will lay out on the table on the back patio in the shade. It's in the shade all day long. We'll just lay it out and let it dry. It's got all the green needs to turn to brown, and then we can separate the the heads from the stems. But until then, we need to let it all dry down. So I'm gonna go get that laid out, gonna have some lunch, and then we can play with some, making some bouquets. Okay, so I'm done with these two arrangements. This first one, this is going to the client, customer. I went ahead and used fern fronds instead. We have so many right now in the backyard and they're all so pretty. So I cut those. So we've got fern fronds and sweet pea tendrils. We've got snapdragons, daucus, linaria. Let's see what else we have. Nigella and a peony. We've got campanula. Yeah, so I think that's really pretty and I think they'll really enjoy that. And then for my friend this evening, we did a little more bright. We've got some blue asters. This is the first of the blue asters. They're really short right now, but they'll get bigger. We got some status, nigella, magus, snapdragons, a little bit of feverfew. We've got obviously the marigolds, and we've got Augustaki, Linaria, and some Scabiosa. So I think she's going to really, really enjoy that. I just like to bring flowers as a gift whenever somebody hosts a party. I just think it's fun. Okay, guys, I need to go deliver this bouquet to the recipient. So I'm going to close out this video for today. Tomorrow, we're going to be updating the green stalk, the herb tower green stalk. It was so overgrown, and mostly when I was cutting back to like thin and, you know, dry herbs, most of it was just big clumps of roots. So, you know, it's been a few years. I'm going to empty those pockets out completely. I bought herbs today. We're going to pop those in. I also am going to put some flowers in, so I'm not going to pack every single pocket with herbs. It'll be a little more attractive to look at, but yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.